Stick 1212. Copy, copy here. Got you loud and clear. Green, rolling fine.
The Performance Motorsports Network presents Burning Rubber Radio.
Burning rubber, baby.
I know what the tradition is. You don't even have to explain it. And here it is. Burning rubber, baby!
Now, from the White Lightning TV studios in Statesville, North Carolina, here is your host, Andy DeLay.
Burning rubber, baby. Hey, everybody. You're listening to Burning Rubber Radio, or you're watching it on Wingding TV. The fastest 60 minutes in motorsports. I'm your host, Andy DeLay, along beside Wayne Owens and Zachary Mertez this week. And before I get going, the show, of course, Burning Rubber Radio, is brought to you by Monster 3X Concept Lures. Folks, if you want to catch some fish, especially saltwater fish, Monster3XUSA.com. Or if you're listening to us in the Tampa Bay market, which, of course, we got 6 stations here that in Tampa Bay area here. Head on out to Tailwater Outfitters on US 19 in Palm Harbor, just north of Curlew Road. They're on the east side of the road, and go in there and yell Burning Rubber, baby, and tell them we sent you down there to get some Monster 3X Concept Lures.
Do it today.
And also, we want to talk about the Kansas City Festival coming up April 22nd. Again, folks, out there know that I'm a Kansas City police officer, and I am the community police officer out in Kansas City. And I am going to be kind of the MC of the events out there. And it's April 22nd, and it starts at 11 a.m., goes to 1 p.m. If your business would like to be part of this, and that is at zero cost to your business, give us a call at 727-498-8948. Again, 727-498-8948. At that, Wayne, we've got us a show tonight.
Man,
with a heck of a guest.
Do we ever? Before we get into that, though, I've got a shout out of my own I want to give here, Andy. You know how you had your plumbing worked on the other day, right? A couple weeks ago. So a little bit different story.
New septic area.
So I had a little run-in with some auto detailers this past week, and got to give them a shout-out here. Like New Auto Detailing up here in the Statesville and Lake Norman, North Carolina areas. Folks, Race City, USA, Mooresville, you know it, you love it. If you're in the area and you need some detailing done on your car to make that thing look just as shiny as it was the day you got it from the car dealership, give these guys a call. It's Like New Auto Detailing here in the Statesville and Lake Norman areas.
Yeah, now that's a hell of a tie-in to my septic system. I'm not getting it, but anyway.
It wasn't supposed to tie into your septic.
I'm surprised that Andy's the one that needed it replaced and not Wayne.
Yeah, really.
Well, hey, Andy's the one that blows it up after Taco Tuesday, so that's...
Buddy, every night. Hey, Zach, you got to tell me, man, you got something going on. You're top 10 in points out on the dirt.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we're top 10 in points for drivers across the country in semi-pro dirt. So, and that's only after one race and a 6th place points finish in semi-pro class. So, I mean, we're looking solid. It might stay for a couple of days, but if we can run some more dirt race, hey, maybe we'll work on getting up there more in the points. Maybe we'll take a national championship. You never know.
Well, is that in karts or is that the Legends?
That is in the Legend cars.
Man, I was going to say, because looking at the points calendar or point standings, Andy, he is only 14 points out of first. So that I got to say, Zach, is one heck of an achievement, my man.
You know why? Because he's on Burning Rubber Radio.
Well, yeah, man. I mean, he's got the Burning Rubber sticker getting to be on his racing suit too.
One dirt race.
Yep. I think you found your calling, Zach. Stick to dirt, not asphalt.
I mean, I'm sitting 14th in the nation for road course points no. I'm sitting 14th in the state points for road course points.
No, there you go.
That's what I'm talking about, baby.
Some good stuff all the way around the board here. But, folks, tonight we have got a stacked show for you. And when I say stacked, it is stacked to the nines. We have got everything
like Pamela Anderson, baby.
Oh, my God. You are doing everything possible to make me grab Muttley, aren't you?
Good night, everybody.
But yeah, folks, we have got a stacked show for you this week. Not only do we have all of the news from this past weekend with NASCAR, we've got some NHRA news to touch on. Actually, also got some SRX news to touch on too tonight, or this week, Andy, and some news that
Get on. Who's our guest, bro? I can't wait.
I know, right? This week, folks, we have got the team president of Kaulig Racing coming on with us, and that being Chris Rice. And Andy, when John told us he got us this lined up for us a couple of weeks ago, man, I was tickled to death because our buddy Jeremy Taylor, who works over at Kaulig, he was grinning to the nines too.
Oh, yeah, man, and I'm proud to call him my cousin, baby.
Yep.
Good job, JT.
Yes, sir. Good job indeed. And, folks, with that said, we have got to step aside to our first foreign fuel of the show. But when we come back, we're going to be digging into that news of the week.
Baby.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Want to maximize your driving potential? Drive Refine is the driver optimization program for you. Led by NASCAR winning driver Joey Coulter. No matter if you race locally, nationally, or on a simulator, with a little or a lot of experience, Drive Refine focuses on your tuning scale to optimize communication between the driver and their crew chief. Visit driverefine.com for more information today.
Hey, this is former NASCAR driver Joey Coulter. This isn't your typical driver coaching. This is Drive Refine.
I'm Andy DeLay, and you're listening to Burning Rubber Radio on the Performance Motorsports Network.
Motorsports sales professionals. Performance Motorsports is looking to build a team of experienced media sales professionals to represent our programming to the industry's top companies, magazines, and racing series. If you have motorsports sales or marketing experience, know how to work with agencies, understand social media, and are incredibly creative when it comes to working with clients and promotions, then we want to hear from you. Top performers are richly rewarded. Your imagination is the only limit here. Call 717-749-0444. That's 717-749-0444, or email us at scorpionradiogroup@gmail.com.
Tire Rack was established over 40 years ago with a product line that fulfills the tire, wheel, suspension, and brake needs of enthusiasts and their friends for both the track and the road. As official tire retailer of SCCA and title sponsor of the SCCA National Solo Program, Time Trials National Tour, and Time Trials Nationals, TireRack.com, America's leading high-performance tire and wheel source, is able to showcase a broad range of new products in suspension, brakes, and accessories while supporting the grassroots motorsports enthusiasts.
Burning Rubber Radio is social. Like the show at facebook.com/Burning Rubber Radio. Follow on Twitter at twitter.com/BRR_PMN. And on Instagram at Instagram.com/Burning Rubber Radio. Now back to more Burning Rubber.
And we are back on Burning Rubber Radio on the Performance Motorsports Network and the Tan Talk Radio Network and Wingding.tv. And gentlemen, it is that time to dig into some early news of this past weekend. And Andy, I'm going to go ahead and, you know what, sadly Taylor's not here to kind of celebrate this one with us, but I have got to give massive props. The Truck Series was racing this past weekend at Texas Motor Speedway, and guess who got the win?
Yeah, buddy. Fast Pasta, bro.
No.
What?
Carson Hocevar, baby.
What did I say? Anthony Alfredo, man. I'm thinking, yeah, Carson Hocevar. That's what I meant, baby.
He got Folks, this is a week of gaffes. I swear. This is just going to be
I mean, you could be mistaken because Zane Smith was in the 38 running up there, and still
that's
front row motorsports.
Yeah.
But you got
Boston, Carson Hocevar.
Fast Boston. Oh my God.
I mean, you gotta love it for Carson Hocevar. You gotta hate it for Nick Sanchez, though. He was leading most of the race, and just the last lap incident, and Hocevar was able to capitalize.
Wasn't it John Hunter Nemechek and him got together on the last lap, and then
it was Sanchez and Zane Smith. Zane Smith is on the outside, and Sanchez came up the racetrack just a little bit, made contact with him. And Hocevar was there, not enough time to check up, and not to mention he had a bunch of dirt on his windshield, so he couldn't really see what was going on. And, he just clipped Sanchez, and they all went into the wall and involved Christian Eckes, and they called the caution out, and Hocevar went on for the win.
Yep.
Awesome.
But still some real, that's the thing about racing. Right place, right time. And Carson was right place, right time. So we get to see Carson get his first ever win in the Craftsman Truck Series here, and long overdue because the kid is a phenomenal racer, and so it's good to see him finally get his stand in victory lane. But moving on now over to the Xfinity Series. Speaking of another Smith, Andy Chandler Smith gets himself his first Xfinity win at Richmond this past weekend.
All-in racing, baby.
Yes, sir.
No relation to Zane Smith.
Yep, no relation.
No relation whatsoever.
Not at all.
And it's funny how it all ties in. We got the Colleague team president on the night. Colleague gets a win at Richmond.
Yeah, man.
They got a win at Coda. The Coda Colleague. Wow. Okay, I'm gaffing now, Andy. Good job.
Good job, man. Ties in like my septic system to your car wash.
He's gonna make me do it, folks. I don't want to press the button, but he's gonna make me do it.
Oh, boy.
But yeah, really good stuff for Chandler Smith getting his first win in the Xfinity Series this past weekend in a Colleague car, and in the number 16 that AJ used to drive too. So even better. And but now we gotta really talk about this one, Andy, because it's a guy that you like to pick all the time. You didn't pick him last week. Kind of makes you wish you did now, though. Kyle Larson gets himself a win and a late surge at Richmond this past weekend as well.
Yeah, he surely did. And, the GOAT knows how to drive a car.
Hey, how about that Josh Berry, though?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man, second place, but he's in the equipment to do it. Apparently, they're saying, boy, get out there and get it done.
Yep. how many times have we talked about Josh Berry? I mean, the fact is the kid is not a slacker in the slightest. He knows how to wheel a race car. I mean, he wheeled that late model in the Cars Tour for how many years, and how many wins did he rack up, Andy?
Exactly. And it just goes, this is an audition for Josh Berry. He's in the best equipment, and he is a wheelman, and he's able to put that stuff up front. So everyone's going to look at him and say, yeah, I want to put him in my car. He knows how to take care of the car. He knows how to win, second place. He was one mess up then, from the leader to winning the thing. So good on him.
Restart. And he was just sticking with it. And you've got guys like Jeff Gordon, one of the best drivers all time in NASCAR, saying that this guy's got a future in the Cup Series.
Yep.
And now you've got more talks forward about Junior Motorsports wanting to step back up into the Cup Series and wanting to do their thing. Obviously, with the charter system and everything, they're still trying to figure out what they're doing. They've said nothing's off the table, but, Dale Jr. wants to bring Josh Berry into the Cup Series full time.
Well,
and matter of fact, we're going to have Kelly Earnhardt on the show here in the next month or two.
Hopefully.
And that's something we need. Hey, Bobby Dale said that he's getting his aunt on the show, so I believe him.
Well,
he got Junior on here, so
we say hopefully in a month or two because it all depends on scheduling and everything like that.
Yeah, exactly. So. But anyway, that's something that we need to ask her directly.
Mm-hmm. That would be something, because going back to the comment you made there, Zach, and with what Jeff Gordon said, Gordon was, to further emphasize on that comment, is that Gordon was even quoted as saying that once Chase returns, they want to find something for Josh Berry to do in the Cup Series one way or another, because the kid has the talent. He's ready to be in the Cup Series. He shows that he's ready, and honestly, he shows he's got that winning hunger as well.
Not to mention he's outrunning guys that were subbing last year and weren't even running the best. You got Ty Gibbs, who is in Joe Gibbs, full Joe Gibbs equipment now, and he's still learning the car, and he ran almost half the season last year.
Yep.
You got Josh Berry, who's stepping in for a couple of races for Chase Elliott, and look at him, he's racking up top 10 finishes.
And he's
doing
never even
outstanding.
And he'd never even run the car before this year.
Exactly. You pop him into something and automatically it took him a couple races, give or take. He struggled at Phoenix. He struggled a little bit at COTA. He struggled a little bit here and there, but he's starting to rack off these finishes, and he's doing absolutely outstanding for that Hendrick Motorsports equipment. And NASCAR's allowed to have fifth car for each team for a part-time entry. I see no reason why Hendrick can't put a fifth car forward for Josh Berry.
I don't either. Agree. And actually, he wasn't at COTA. It was the IMSA guy that was at COTA.
Oh yeah, that's right, Jordan Taylor.
Yeah, but the two races prior to that is what you're thinking of. But
this is week number 6 coming into Bristol that Elliott's been out of the car. Now we heard back in early March that it was going to be 6 weeks and Elliott's supposed to be back. So Jeff Gordon actually said something and made an announcement that they're going to take it week to week now and getting Elliott back in the car.
Yep. So I guess we're just gonna have to kind of see what pans out. But between you and me, I'm kind of getting rather familiar with having Josh Berry in that number 9 ride. So who knows? Hopefully it never changes. But that's just
yeah, right. That number 9 ride has the word Elliott all over the door, man. So
well, it needs to have the word Berry. Just saying. But one other bit of news here that we can talk about, Andy, real quick. You know, I said we had some SRX news to talk about here.
Yeah, man.
And that being that Ron Capps, we had him on the show. We love him to death. He is going to run he's going to be the first NHRA drag racing superstar to race the SRX series, and he's going to do it at Eldora.
Man, good on him. You know, he's a heck of an iRacer.
Yeah,
he's always out there iRacing. So, he's going to do good.
Yep, I have a feeling he is going to do phenomenal when it comes to the SRX series. But with that said here, folks, we have got to step aside because I just saw our guest pop in the studio here, Andy. So we're going to go get Chris ready, and we're going to come back with his interview right after this.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head to head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Want to maximize your driving potential? Drive Refine is the driver optimization program for you. Led by NASCAR winning driver Joey Coulter. No matter if you race locally, nationally, or on a simulator, with a little or a lot of experience, Drive Refine focuses on your tuning scale to optimize communication between the driver and their crew chief. Visit driverefine.com for more information today.
Hey, this is former NASCAR driver Joey Coulter. This isn't your typical driver coaching. This is Drive Refine.
I'm Captain Jeff Figures from Florida Fishing and Adventures. Do you want to constantly catch more fish, spend less time changing baits? If so, Monster 3X baits, jigs, and scents are the answer. Monster 3X baits are tough, durable, and resistant, which allows you to catch more fish per bait. The combination of the Monster 3X lure with the ProPure Baits Super Scent, you will be landing more fish right away. Whether it's the Monster 3X Ultra Soft or the X Swim lures, swim shad, paddle tails, crawfish, or the X Frog, Monster 3X, you'll always find it in my tackle box.
Hi, this is Larry McReynolds with NASCAR on Fox. You're listening to Burning Rubber Radio on the Performance Motorsports Network.
Parents, your son or daughter has had their license for a while now, but you want to make sure they're prepared for any situation they may face on the road. High school driver's ed doesn't teach them to drive defensively. They need to be prepared for any highway emergency. For less than a month's insurance and a whole lot less, BSR instructors at Summit Point Motorsports Park in nearby Summit Point, West Virginia, will teach your son or daughter how to respond instantly and positively to unexpected situations on the road. BSR's specialized accident avoidance training teaches swerve to avoid maneuvers at highway speeds, ocular driving, which focuses driving attention on ways to avoid accidents, vehicle dynamics and feedback, skid control and skid recovery, threshold braking on straights and progressive braking on curves, and off-road recovery techniques. This is stuff driver's ed simply doesn't teach. So call BSR today, 304-725-8444. Give your kid the skill set needed to drive safely and responsibly on the highway. That's 304-725-8444. We are the Performance Motorsports Network, and incredible sales opportunities exist. If you have a business in the motorsports industry, give our sales department a call, 717-749-0444, or send us an email. We'll have an account representative get in touch with you immediately to show how we can market your business to the motorsports community.
Visit our website at burningrubberradio.com for recipes from the NASCAR chef, John Dix, and more great content. Now back to more Burning Rubber Radio.
And we are back on Burning Rubber Radio on the Performance Motorsports Network, the Tan Talk Radio Network, wingding.tv. And Andy, I'll tell you what, brother, we don't get interviews like this very often, but when we do, we love it because it's the greats of motorsports, and this guy being one of those greats that we've got on the show tonight.
Yeah, that's right, man. Go ahead, introduce him, brother. Bring him on.
Oh, yeah, we're going to bring him on here. It is the team president from Kaulig Racing, and that being none other than Chris Rice. Chris, welcome to the show, my friend.
Hey, thanks, guys. And I've been sitting here watching you guys, and it's pretty exciting, but I'm also disappointed I don't have my own commercial.
You want to know how what again?
His own commercial.
You get your own. Well, I'll tell you what. Send us an email at mail@brr.show, and we can get you hooked up.
Yeah, we'll have you do one of those Larry Mack spots.
That's great. I would love to have one.
I was going to say, because I was telling Andy during the break, I was like, man, I seen his eyebrows furl up. He's like, Larry Mack.
Oh, my Lord. Well, welcome to Burning Rubber Radio. You don't know what you got yourself into, Chris. We're the fastest 60 minutes of motorsports, but we're also the yo-yos of the radio. But we definitely want to talk to you about what's going on at Kaulig Racing. By the way, my cousin works for you, Jeremy Taylor. You got to give him a promotion or a demotion after you're done with this.
I will, definitely. Love Jeremy.
Hey, love him good.
Oh, I do. I do too. Hey, we'll kick this off. You've been in the sport a long time. And I see here that you used to work for Kevin Harvick Incorporated, if I'm correct, and which is back. So tell us a little bit about that. What do you think about KHI coming back?
Oh, I think it's great. I spent a little year there, I guess you could call it, not very long. So I can't talk that much about it, but, he won a lot of races. Kevin is very passionate, like myself, so he'll win a lot of races again, and he'll do very well. And it's pretty cool. I asked him the other day, I was like, Kevin, why are you doing this? And he said, because I love racing. I love the new Cars Tour that we brought into. I love those things. I think he's doing some other stuff on those. So it's pretty cool to see the guys get back to the grassroots. That's something I love, grassroots, and love late model racing. That's one of my passions, and I hope in the near future you guys get to do what Kaulig Racing is doing for grassroots. So super excited to have Kevin Harvick Incorporated. I guess it's back. Hothead, I think is and I did spend a little time there.
Well, speaking of grassroots racing, that brings in a very valid question then here, because knowing that Kevin Harvick Incorporated has brought some stuff back, granted we know Kaulig is in deep as far as the Xfinity and the Cup Series is concerned. Is it possible that we may see Kaulig possibly do some late model stuff now that the Cars Tour has been moved over to new ownership?
Well, I'm not gonna lie, we've been looking at it over the last 2 years because my dad, we sold his business, A&E Race Cars, I don't know, a couple of years ago. I've always wanted to have a car for these young kids to be able to race and bust and see whether, they want to do it, not do it, be with a big company like ours. And so we're looking at it, not just because of the Cars Tour, but because of the things that, we value. Young kids, young people working on it, right? Like we need to farm these guys, get them where they need to be. We've been looking at that class. You never know. We love it. That's for sure.
Very much so, and the grassroots progression, going from, like, say, a Legends car to a late model to trucks, and then to Xfinity, and then to the Cup Series. That's where a lot of people go into. And Zach, you got a question for Chris?
Yeah, I mean, building off more with the grassroots racing community. Really, I mean, you're talking about a Legends car, like the things that I like to run. I mean, I remember seeing Chris out there, not last year, running the bus derby at the summer shootout. You might not have seen me sitting in the stands. Oh, I know most of the college guys were out there. I don't remember who won that bus derby race, but I know some of the college guys were out there. But, what would you have to say? I follow you a lot on social media. I know you're very positive and you're very outgoing with a lot of people in the NASCAR community. What would you have to say for a lot of these guys like myself who are coming up through the ranks, who might want to jump onto a team and get moving forward in the short track community up into the NASCAR Cup Series?
That's a great question. You do follow me on social media. I appreciate it, and thank you, because if it's one thing in life I want to do is give back to the NASCAR community, give back to everybody. And I said it this week on my Instagram. I do a lot of videos myself on my Instagram and stuff like that. You just got to keep working. Our Cup program's not where it needs to be. Like, it's no secret that we don't want to run for it. We just have to keep working. So you have to keep working. You have to keep doing the things that you know how to do, right? Like, you run the Legends car, run the Legend car. Try to get in front of people like myself. Keep coming to these races, introducing yourself, shaking our hand. Being on social media, interacting. That's the best tool there is social media. I look at social media. I was just doing it when I was waiting on you guys to come back from break, and do those things. Put yourself out there. Don't be scared to be different. I'm a different president than most people. Like, I don't think most of your presidents want to talk about smiling. They want to show their workout videos or give their shirt away in victory lane. Do the different things. Everybody's not going to like that, right? But do something different. Like that chair you're in right there. That's different. It looks like a cow. I don't even know what it is, but it's cool. It caught my eye. Right? Just do something different. That's what it's about.
Well, being a low-budget racer, we don't necessarily get to afford all the big chairs with the high-tech speakers and whatnot. But it's great to hear just a grounded opinion from someone who's been in the series for such a long time, and it's great seeing someone just like yourself who's able to go out there and just be so open with everybody, especially in the garage and on social media, and just seeing how everyone interacts with each other. I think, you're one of the better NASCAR presidents that we actually have in the Cup Series.
Well, I appreciate that, and thank you. I do love our fans. I love our garage. I love NASCAR. I know we're going through this appeal tomorrow, and it's late up at night thinking about it. But, you can look at things different ways, right? Like, you can either take it on the shoulders, or you can just take it and grab it and go with it. That's what I do. I do it every weekend. I told somebody tonight, I'm still at the office, and I told somebody it was like 6:30, and they said, talking about, Easter weekend and stuff like that. I said, guys, I go to the races you do. Like, I go to Xfinity races, then I go to Cup races, and it's because I love it. I love our fans. A lot of fans, I watch this on social media. I don't have a lot of fans that dislike me, but I do have 2 or 3. But I watch these people like Brett Griffin and people like that blocking people. Heck, I want those people in my life. I want to change them. I want to change that person. I want to take that person that might not be smiling, and I want to make them smile. So thank you. I appreciate that, and I do want to be different. I want to be the president that everybody can walk up to. I'm not going to have every day that's great, but I like to have good days, and I like to have bad days. I like both of them.
Hey, Chris, I got something. This is Andy. I got something for you. Colleague racing is different. There is a buzz at colleague racing. Yeah, I have a cousin that works for y'all, and he tells me that it's different than the other race shops that he worked for. It seems like you guys have such a positive attitude, especially in your shop, from what I hear. And it reflects and what AJ does, especially at the racetracks. Can you tell us a little bit about that colleague racing buzz?
Well, we do, and it's I can't lie about it, right? Like you know, you have a cousin here, and I can't tell you that those guys speak for themselves. If I kept telling you that we're a family atmosphere and that our buzz is happy and we're really excited, but our people go out and say, no, that's not true. They're lying about this. I have to let our people speak for what we do. I had a conversation with our group today. You know, AJ was not happy on the radio. He hasn't been happy on the radio all year. And if we take that to heart and we get disappointed about it, we take it to what it's worth, then we're going to. So those things, winning races on Saturday with Chandler Smith, AJ Allmendinger, people like that feeds into our Cup program. We know that we're 2 years into our Cup program and that those guys would race in our 50 years or so in. So our atmosphere here at Colleague Racing is positive, and we're going to keep it positive. Because we're here to chase trophies. We're here to trophy hunt. You can look in the back. If I can move out of the way, you can look. There's a Bristol trophy. And I have that Bristol trophy here because that was one of the races. All my life, I wanted to win. I remember meeting Darrell Waltrip at Bristol. It was one of the highlights of my life when I was young. And I said, I'm going to win Bristol, no matter what, because he won so many races there. Then Kenny Wallace, one of my favorite guys I ever worked for. Dude won a ton of races at Richmond, run really well. That was the second place. I wanted to win. Richmond. Chandler Smith goes out and does it. You know, I got probably one more on the circuit that I would say that I personally want to be part of winning, and that's Martinsville, because it's close to my home. It's for my mom and dad. My mom and dad are still living. And if we can do that, I think it's a success for me. It's a success for our race team. But also it's something that you can look at young gentlemen, young kids, like, and we can talk about. I kept working. Like in Cup racing on Sunday, literally we were running last for 40 laps. Last. Just you got to keep working. You got to keep pushing it. So the atmosphere is positive, and we are smiling. We do have bad days. It's not that we don't. Like, we do have to get on people. We do have to have the bad talks and stuff like that. But we do keep pushing it. We are very positive.
Very, very true stuff indeed, Chris. And so you talk about the positive ideology, and you know, I've had a chance to see it firsthand, and Andy as well has had a chance to see it firsthand. You know, when we were at the Cup Series races back at Daytona and Watkins Glen last year, you know, watching the, you know, the pep in the step that each one of the Colleague crew members had while they were, you know, bringing tires or getting fuel or whatever the case might be. There is a pep in the step of Colleague crew members and team members alike that I personally didn't see in any other race team that was there that weekend. So that speaks even more to the positive ideology that Colleague Racing brings to the table. And you also mentioned, you know, Martinsville being close to home. You're from the South Boston, Virginia area, so you know, Sobo, one of the local racetracks that's actually nearby to me, because I'm actually from right down the road in Statesville, North Carolina. And so you had the chance, not only being from Sobo, to work with Hermie and Elliott Sadler, other former Cup guys, and you also mentioned Kenny Wallace. And you know, we've had Elliott on the show, we've had Kenny on the show multiple times, and it goes to speak to, you know, you work with happy guys, and it just radiates that happiness even further.
It does, and you know, I worked with Elliott Sadler. A great story from Martinsville. We were young kids. We really didn't know what the heck we were doing, honestly. Like, we look back on it now, we didn't know. Like, I made $500 a week. I think he made $100 a week. And we would go to the bank. He would talk about how thick my envelope was and how thin it was. Oh, wow. You know, and we're still great friends. And we won Martinsville. And we got disqualified.
Oh, wow.
We didn't even know how to turn a motor thing. We had to have the NASCAR officials help us because we were so young, and then it was illegal. It's like, I don't even know what's wrong with it. Right. So, like, if we get in Martinsville again, I'm gonna take the replica clock, and I'm gonna put it in my living room, and I'm gonna look at it when I get about, if I make it to 60, I'm gonna look at it at 60. I'm 80, and I'm gonna enjoy every moment of it. So we built a trophy room. been fortunate enough to win a lot of trophies. You see my office here; it's really nice. Matt Colley let me build an extremely nice office for myself, and trophies are something that we love. We know they collect dust, but we keep the memories from them. Saturday was a memory that we'll never forget with Chandler Smith, 20 years old.
Oh, yeah.
And his 7th race with us, just to win a race. I mean, that's pretty spectacular for him, but also a race team like ours to go out and win that. So pretty excited about that. I would say that's probably one of the fastest ones it's ever done, and very proud.
Very much.
Can I ask real quick, what do you think about dirt coming up this week here at Bristol?
I'm super excited about it because my wife loves it. Tammy Rice, she loves it so much. But I'm a dirt fan. I watch dirt racing every night on Flow TV, or I watch it on Racing America, or whatever it comes on. I watch dirt racing. I love it. I am Gina and Donald Bradshire, some friends of mine that own Tim McCready's car, and then I got to meet Jonathan Davenport and the dude, the Superman. It's exactly what they call him, and I was very impressed with the guy. And to have him in one of our cars again in a number 13 Mutual Solutions car has been a dream come true. It would almost be as good as Darrell Walker come back and we'd put him in the 13 time ride. But it's been a dream come true. I told him today, he was here in the shop, and I said, dude, you can't be scared to tell us what the dirt's doing because we have no idea. We can't even hardly figure out asphalt. So we really don't know what the dirt's doing. So you got to tell us that. Our crew chiefs, Trent Owens and Matt Swiderski, they both agreed, and it's been a lot of fun. I'm super excited about it. I hope that the rain gets out of there. It looks like it's going to rain on Friday, but it gets out of there for Saturday and Sunday. And these guys get to have a real dirt race with no moisture in the racetrack, and it gets good and slick. And, honestly, everybody's been asking what I expect out of Jonathan Davenport to run all the laps. He's racing with the best in the world. They're not shabby. No matter if it's dirt, whatever it is, they're great. They're great race teams. They're great. Kyle Larson's in racing that race, right? So these guys are good.
Definitely. And then one last question here, Chris, before we head out of here for the night. The biggest thing that I hear you say when you talk to us tonight is hard work. That's the biggest thing you're preaching is hard work. And, there are guys that know all about that. They're trying to get through the short track community up in NASCAR. I mean, you got guys like me who work a 9 to 5 and then go out till midnight delivering pizzas just to be able to afford to put parts on the car and get back to the racetrack. Just big thing. What would you have to say to all those guys that are down there racing Bandoleros, legend cars, late models, trying to get up there? What was the big thing that you would say to them to tell them that their hard work is paying off?
Well, to look at their life, take a minute and just look at it. Don't take everything negative, right? I'm sure you have this in your racing, right? You go and race and you finish second, you finish 10th, you finish whatever, and you're disappointed. You don't look at the good stuff. You don't look that you made it to the race, you made every lap, you learned something. Take that. Take the stuff that you learned back and build off of that. You're not going to win them all. It's only one winner, right, every weekend in NASCAR. And that's so different than any other sport, right? Basketball, you have a whole team, like a bunch of guys. You only have one driver that wins in NASCAR. You got to take and look at what has happened, pull out the good, and build off the good. Don't look at the negative all the time. I watch all these late model races. I see it all the time. I watch these fights, right? And at these racetracks. And Chandler Smith was involved in one at Slinger or somewhere. And we had hired a kid. And I told him, he called me after. He said, I know you're upset with me. I'm not upset with you. Not at all. I love your passion. Love it. What I'm upset is that you continually let that guy drag you back. We've had conversations with him. Throw the piece of metal in his pits and leave. Leave these guys alone. Take the positive out of everything and build off of that. Leave the negatives alone. Just leave them alone.
I got a question. Now, would this be a positive? When I was racing slammers a few years back, Wayne will know this. I used to say I led more laps than anyone else every time I went a lap down. I was up front, baby.
Oh.
Growing up, we used to call it jack stand 500, right? Because we would put the call jack stands.
That was Andy's perfect race, the jack stand 100 right there.
Yeah, so we would talk about how we should have won, how we could have won, how could have done that. That Bristol trophy right there, we should have never won that trophy. A.J. Allmendinger won that trophy for us. He wrecked. Him and Austin Cindric wrecked coming across the line.
Mm-hmm.
So those times that you think you should have won, you do eventually win them. That is the key. You're going to lose more races than you win. It doesn't matter if you was getting loud or you were leading a race. You're having fun.
Very, very, very true. Well, Chris, with that said here, buddy, we have come to the end of our time this week, and God, it doesn't even feel like we went by it that quickly. We are going to talk to you off the air, though, so hang around with us here. But there is a tradition that we also want to get you in on, and your buddy, Kenny Wallace, actually started this tradition for us back in 2008. Grabbed the mic out of Andy's hand and shouted, "Burning rubber, baby," at the top of his lungs. Now, the cool part to that shout, Kenny's done it. College cars have done it before. We've had late model guys get wins off of this. We've had it's a whole thing. Drivers get wins after saying this. Those three famous words gets drivers wins. So
the louder the better, and the farther up front you'll run.
Yep, exactly. So with
burning rubber, baby.
Say again, Chris.
Okay. All right. So he says, "Burning rubber, baby."
Yep, as loud as you can.
Oh, that's easy, dude. Because it's like Bristol, baby. I love doing that. So it's like burning rubber, baby.
Yeah! All right. Ladies and gentlemen, that is Chris Rice. Chris, hang around with us for just a minute. We'll talk to you here off the air, buddy. Andy, man, what a phenomenal interview. And I hate that we have to go to a commercial now and stop it, but we do. We're going to go take our next Ford fuel, and when we come back, we're going to have the NASCAR chef, John Dix.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
I'm Captain Jeff Figures from Florida Fishing and Adventures. Do you want to constantly catch more fish, spend less time changing baits? If so, Monster 3X baits, jigs, and scents are the answer. Monster 3X baits are tough, durable, and resistant, which allows you to catch more fish per bait. The combination of the Monster 3X lure with the ProCure Baits Super Scent, you will be landing more fish right away. Whether it's the Monster 3X Ultra Soft or the X Swim lures, swim shad, paddle tails, crawfish, or the X Frog, Monster 3X, you'll always find it in my tackle box.
Want to maximize your driving potential? Drive Refine is the driver optimization program for you. Led by NASCAR winning driver Joey Coulter. No matter if you race locally, nationally, or on a simulator, with a little or lot of experience, Drive Refine focuses on your tuning scale to optimize communication between the driver and their crew chief. Visit driverefine.com for more information today.
Hey, this is former NASCAR driver Joey Coulter. This isn't your typical driver coaching. This is Drive Refine.
This is race car driver Kenny Wallace, driver of the number 36 Jegs Dirt Modified. And you're burning rubber, baby, on the Performance Motorsports Network.
Do you love the sound of high-revving motors and the smell of burning rubber? Do you want to get your car sideways right at the ragged edge of control? If you've always wanted to try drifting or learn to improve your drifting skills, Summit Point Motorsports Park, the Mid-Atlantic's premier motorsports facility, has the expert instructors and the specialized track to teach you how to drift. and the skills necessary to drift competitively. From skid pad to open sessions, Summit Point Motorsports Park has the safe and open environment that allows drifters of all skill levels, new to intermediate, to get sideways and smoking. With a focus on safety and the skill set necessary to drift competitively, Summit Point Motorsports Park's Drift Nirvana is just the thing for you. Call for your reservation today, 304-725-8444. Or for more information, go online, summitpoint-raceway.com, or you can email them at office@bsrinc.com. Drift Nirvana, getting you sideways the right way. We are the Performance Motorsports Network, and incredible sales opportunities exist. If you have a business in the motorsports industry, give our sales department a call, 717-749-0444, or send us an email. We'll have an account representative get in touch with you immediately to show how we can market your business to the motorsports community.
This is Burning Rubber Radio. Now let's get cooking in the kitchen with the NASCAR chef, John Dix.
And we are back on Burning Rubber Radio on the Performance Motorsports Network, the Tan Talk Radio Network, and Wingding.tv. And I'll tell you what, Andy, that power of positivity, brother, man, it's got a smile on my face. It's going to be hard to remove that smile after talking to Chris.
Oh, my gosh, yeah. And let me tell you, Chris Rice, one of the most awesome guys that we've talked to in a long time. We love all our guests, but man, that, the president of Colleague Racing sitting here talking to us and giving all the young guys some pointers and stuff like that. That's priceless, bro.
Yep. That is going to be footage that, and audio too for folks listening on the radio, and again, folks, during the interview too, unless you're watching it over on Wingding.tv, Chris actually showed off one of the Bristol trophies from a couple of years ago, so some really, really good stuff that we got to see and hear from Chris.
I would definitely think that if we do like a best of at the end of the year, that is the highlight. That is one of the biggest highlights that's going to be on the year.
Actually,
we can do bloopers where we'll have Wayne comparing his new car to my septic system, and then Chris is one of the highlights.
I told you, you earned it. You finally earned it.
Yeah, he had to clean all those pizza rolls out of there. Speaking of which, we're getting to some good food. John, what do you got for us, buddy?
Hey, guys, burning rubber, baby.
Burning rubber, baby.
All right, so
I tell you what, guys, it don't come any better than Chris. He's a good guy.
He is
good. He runs a good organization, and our buddy Jeremy works over there for him. So we can't say much more than that.
Right, exactly. So speaking of septic systems and car detailing and all that other fun stuff here tonight. and Andy's going to need a new septic system after this recipe. What you got for us tonight, buddy?
Woo! Septic system.
Yeah, something to do with his brand new car getting washed. I don't know. You have to listen to the beginning of the show.
Anyways, guys, we're going to do a good comfort food recipe. This is one of our favorite in our house. Matter of fact, we actually ate it last night. It's an easy Mexican casserole.
Like I said, Andy, you're going to need a new septic system. You're going to blow it up.
We're going to start, guys, with a pound of ground beef, 1 can of ranch-style beans, 12 ounces of tortilla chips. You want to crush them up. I usually put them in like a Ziploc bag and crush them up. 1 can of Rotel tomatoes, 1 small chopped onion, 2 cups of shredded cheddar cheese. You want to divide it in half. A package of taco seasoning, a can of cream of chicken soup, a half a cup of water, and we always use a little sour cream and salsa on the side. Now, gang, you're going to preheat your oven while you're making this. You want to preheat it for about 325 degrees. In the skillet, you want to cook the meat, drain off the fat. Then you're going to stir in your beans, your tomatoes, your onion, your taco seasoning, your soup, and your water. Mix it well and let it simmer for about 20, 30 minutes on low heat. Stir it up real good. Now, in a greased 9x13 casserole dish, you want to place a layer, about half of those chips in a layer. Then about half of your meat mixture, another layer, and half of your cheese, and you want to repeat that, okay? Then you're going to cover it with tinfoil, bake it for about 25, maybe 30 minutes. Remember, you have your oven at 325. Serve it with your sour cream and your salsa on the side, and guys, whew, it's some good stuff.
Yeah, Again, I fear for Sue's safety when Andy's in the bathroom off of this one.
Okie dokie.
We love you, Sue.
Oh, man. Well, folks, again, easy Mexican casserole, the recipe of the week here for the NASCAR chef, John Dix. And, John, I'll tell you what, man, we are looking forward to a lot more good recipes coming up from you here in the coming weeks because, well, obviously, Andy cooks your food. Bobby Dale cooks your food, too. And last I heard, Bobby cooked up one of your other recipes a couple weeks ago and said it turned out pretty good, too.
Yeah, I tell you what, I've cooked with Bobby before. Him and we cooked out together. Bobby's a good cook in his own right, so don't let him fool you on that.
Very much so. Well, again, folks, if you want to get a hold of the NASCAR chef, John Dix, all you got to do is shoot him an email at racingtothegrill. That's RACING, the number 2, thegrill at gmail.com, or send an email to the general mailbox at mail@brr.show. And you can get a hold of the NASCAR chef with any comments, questions, concerns, or snide remarks. Granted, like we joked about last week, don't make any snide remarks too bad because he might crack your eggs.
Yeah, crack you right in the eggs, bro. Man, I tell you what, this my phone right here, my cousin Jeremy Taylor's just blowing up. Did you say anything wrong about me? Am I going to get fired tomorrow?
Oh, we're gonna have to call JT collectively after the show and be like, hey, so this is how this went. And but with that said here, folks, John, we can't let you leave without those 3 famous words, brother.
Burning rubber, baby.
Burning rubber,
Burning rubber, baby.
All right, with that said here, folks, get one last good look at the recipe for the week here. And with that said, we're going to step aside. We're going to take another quick 2-tire change. Actually, you know what? Better yet, we're going to take our last foreign fuel of the show here. And when we come back, we're going to dig into some final news of the week. We're going to get into picks for Bristol Dirt coming up. And, well, we'll see what else we can get into. We'll figure it all out when we come back.
Want to maximize your driving potential? Drive Refine as the driver optimization program for you. Led by NASCAR winning driver Joey Coulter. No matter if you race locally, nationally, or on a simulator, with a little or a lot of experience, Drive Refine focuses on your tuning scale to optimize communication between the driver and their crew chief. Visit driverefine.com for more information today.
Hey, this is former NASCAR driver Joey Coulter. This isn't your typical driver coaching. This is Drive Refine.
I'm Captain Jeff Figures from Florida Fishing and Adventures. Do you want to constantly catch more fish, spend less time changing baits? If so, Monster 3X baits, jigs, and scents are the answer. Monster 3X baits are tough, durable, and resistant, which allows you to catch more fish per bait. The combination of the Monster 3X lure with the ProCure Baits Super Scent, you will be landing more fish right away. Whether it's the Monster 3X Ultra Soft or the X Swim lures, swim shad, paddle tails, crawfish, or the X Frog, Monster 3X, you'll always find it in my tackle box.
I'm Andy DeLay, and you're listening to Burning Rubber Radio on the Performance Motorsports Network.
We are the Performance Motorsports Network, and incredible sales opportunities exist. If you have a business in the motorsports industry, give our sales department a call, 717-749-0444, or send us an email. We'll have an account representative get in touch with you immediately to show how we can market your business to the motorsports community. You own a performance car and you know how to drive, but you want to learn real performance driving. Well, Bunky, get that car off the street and onto the track. Summit Point Motorsports Park, the Mid-Atlantic's premier road racing facility, located just over an hour from D.C. in nearby Summit Point, West Virginia, is the place to go. And you'll find that Friday at the Track is going to give you what you need. For less than a monthly car payment, you can attend this regularly scheduled one-day instructional event in your street car on one of Summit Point's 3 world-class road racing circuits. You'll receive classroom instruction, skid pad instruction in their cars, including front and rear skid control, and 4 20-minute in-your-car instructional sessions from a professional instructor. Have fun, go fast, and really learn how to drive. Call 304-725-8444 for class schedules and details. That's 304-725-8444. Friday at the Track at Summit Point Motorsports Park.
Burning Rubber Radio is social. Like the show at facebook.com/Burning Rubber Radio. Follow on Twitter at twitter.com/BRR_PMN. And on Instagram at Instagram.com/Burning Rubber Radio. Now, back to more Burning Rubber.
And we are back on Burning Rubber Radio on the Performance Motorsports Network, the Tan Talk Radio Network, wingding.tv. And Andy, you just happened to tell me something here. We're going to bring the NASCAR chef back in for a minute before we get into picks here. John, you have hit a big milestone, my friend.
Yeah, Wayne, we do a couple recipes here and there.
A couple?
Yeah, one or two.
Yeah, one or two. Okay. Folks, for those who are wondering, the NASCAR chef John Dix has been with the show now for, roughly about a decade, give or take.
Yeah, we're 15 years old. Yep.
Yeah, we're 15 years old, and John's been around for at least 10 of those years. And in that time frame, John has done 52 recipes a year for us for the last 10 years. That means John has hit a milestone now of 520 unique recipes with Burning Rubber Radio.
It's huge. And we love you, man. We're glad that you're part of Burning Rubber Radio, a huge part of it. Folks don't understand that Chef John just doesn't cook and do recipes for us and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
These folks that you're hearing here on the show, like Chris Rice and all these other guests, John does all the booking for us, too. So without the NASCAR chef John Dix working behind the scenes, cooking to keep us fat and to keep us up stocked with guests, and we'd stink.
Yeah, we'd be in one heck of a hurt, and we gotta.
Well, guys, it's a team effort. We all do it. You know that, Andy and Wayne.
Oh yeah. I mean, it's a team effort, but still, you're back here really pushing everything on the backside and making everything happen there. So,
buddy, this is a G-rated show, and John, that's not good.
Unless we do some donkey stuff.
Oh my God! Here we go with the donkey balls again. Oh Jesus! All right.
Well, I will say though, if we do want to talk about things that are round, just things that are round, really, you could go look on Instagram. Goodyear announced that they're bringing back the white sidewalls for the tires for the for the Darlington Throwback race.
Really? Well,
yeah.
Okay. So that's good. That's
celebrating 125 years of Goodyear.
That's going to be some pretty good stuff. And with that here, we're going to get ourselves over to picks for the week. And Andy DeLay, you, my friend, Bristol Dirt, have number one.
Yeah, Kyle Larson, baby. He can get it done on the dirt. Doesn't care. I don't care what he's driving. He can get it done on the dirt.
That is true. And I am going to go with somebody who is a past winner of Bristol Dirt. In fact, actually, he won the inaugural Bristol Dirt race. I'm going to go with Sliced Bread, Joey Logano, to take it away for another win at the dirt track at Bristol Motor Speedway. And Taylor Burris, him and Zach actually agreed on something. That's a shocker.
Taylor and I can agree on things, especially when it comes to iRacing.
Well, this isn't iRacing. This is real racing. But besides the point, Christopher Bell is who Taylor Burris is going with, and I do believe you, Zachary Murders, had the same pick.
Yes, I did. He frequents the Chili Bowl Nationals. He's no stranger to dirt. I do believe that Christopher Bell may come away with a win this year.
Well, we'll just have to see if he can get it done here at Bristol Dirt. NASCAR chef John Dix, your pick is up, brother.
Well, guys, y'all had some all good picks, but I think our friend Chase Briscoe is going to knock it out this weekend.
As long as he doesn't dump Tyler Reddick again.
You're right, Zach.
Time will tell.
Big mistake that Briscoe made, and he admitted to it. So I'm not mad at him. Just poking a little fun. That's what we do here on BRR.
Actually, speaking of dumping people here, folks, we didn't touch on this, and we needed to before we get to the last pick with Bobby Dale. There was a penalty, Andy, that was handed down for Daniel Suarez last week in a big $50,000.
Yeah, man. Now that ties in with my septic system. Dumping.
What was that last pick? What's BD's pick again, Wayne?
Yeah, BD's pick is going to be Kyle Busch for this weekend coming up at Bristol Dirt. And with that said here, folks, it is already that time where we have got to get out of here for another week of Burning Rubber Radio on the Performance Motorsports Network, the Tan Talk Radio Network, and Wingding.tv. And for everybody involved in the show, for Zachary Murtis, for the NASCAR chef John Dix, for Andy DeLay, Bobby Dale Earnhardt, Taylor Burris, and our guest this week, team president of Colleague Racing, Chris Rice. I am producer Wayne, and until next week, we love you guys. Burning Rubber, baby!
Burning Rubber, baby!
Burning Rubber Radio is a production of the Performance Motorsports Network in association with the White Lightning TV studios in Statesville, North Carolina. This week's episode was produced by Wayne Owens. Remember to visit burningrubberradio.com for news, recipes, and more great content. Burning Rubber Radio may also be downloaded from our podcast site, pmn2.com, or from Spotify, iTunes, or Google Podcasts. The opinions expressed on this show are those of the hosts and guests and do not reflect those of the Performance Motorsports Network or the Scorpion Radio Group. Any use of the accounts or descriptions contained in this broadcast must be with the express written permission of the Performance Motorsports Network or the Scorpion Radio Group.